Hey, my name is Mike and this is Too Long Didn't Read the Everbloom. This boss has two repeatable phases. First phase, you want to keep him as far away from the water as possible. He also has a frontal cone ability, so keep him faced away from the party. You're going to see vines on the floor that come towards the player and then kind of spread out. Just don't stand in those. Those are for phase 2. In phase 2, he freezes up and he has 100% extra damage taken to him. During this phase, there's going to be ads spawning out of the water that'll be walking towards the boss. If 4 of those ads get to the boss, he's going to get 100 energy and he will start phase 1 all over again. When the water ads walk over the vines from phase 1, they'll spawn an ad that the tank has to pick up. Otherwise, you can just kill them to make this phase last longer. If you don't kill him in this phase, kill all the ads and then start it all over again. The only person you can take in this fight is Dulu, so just keep him away from everybody else. When you interrupt Gola or Telu, they'll be immune to interrupts for 8 seconds. So for Gola, make sure you're interrupting Revitalizing Waters, and on Telu, interrupt Bramble Patch. So the kill order is Gola, Telu, and then Dulu. When you see a green circle underneath Dulu, don't stand in it. Dulu might pull you towards him. If that's the case, pop a cooldown and take the hit, or just run away really fast. Make sure you're avoiding the thorns on the ground, and if possible, dispel mobs, bark skin, and rapid tides. This boss, you start by clicking on these 3 eggs. Phase 1's all about ads, you just kill all the ads that come down. If you see a burster ad, make sure to kill it first because it fixates on people and does a high amount of damage. Throughout this phase, a little green circle spawns on the ground and the boss will come towards it. Don't stand in that green circle or near it because it does damage. Throughout the fight, you'll see a lot of poison clouds on the ground. Obviously, don't stand in them. Periodically in this fight, the boss will spawn a pale one and then consume it later on for health. If you can spare the DPS, go ahead and kill it, otherwise just stay on the boss. This boss is a mage with all 3 mage specs. If you interrupt parasitic growth, what's going to happen is she will change specs, and if you do interrupt it, there's going to be an unkillable spore image that spawns that a tank just has to pick up and handle. If you decide not to interrupt parasitic growth, she does a little bit more damage and casts a little bit faster. When she's in fire spec, you can interrupt fireball after a few casts of it. She'll also spawn these fire rings on the ground that you have to jump over. In frost spec, you want to interrupt frostbolt and move out of blizzard. And in arcane spec, she just has arcane burst every once in a while. This fight gets really chaotic if you interrupt parasitic growth every time and get her to arcane phase because you have to deal with all 3 mage specs, but it's really fun. For this boss, when you see an entanglement, go ahead and kill it because that's either an NPC trying to help you do this fight or that's another player in your group entangled and they can't do shit. When you see these little mushrooms on the ground, everyone should be running over them because the less there are, the less ads will spawn from them. Sproutlings are going to spawn throughout this fight, and all they do is put a stacking bleed on the tank, so you want to kill those pretty quickly. There's also other ads that spawn throughout this fight, but they don't do anything significant. This boss also has a frontal cone ability called Colossal Blow. Get out of the way of that. That was a Too Long Didn't Read version of the Everbloom. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.